started. Good morning. I'm gonna start off today by just letting you know that I am filming today, but it is again just me in the picture, so just wanted to let you know that that's happening today. I want to go over our schedule. We're gonna start off talking about our character pictures and our Spanish vocabulary pictures. Then we're gonna warm up with a video with Elizabeth Azevedo. We're gonna watch a video about the literary device of imagery. Then we'll read our section 4 of Poet X. I'm gonna introduce the journal prompt. And then, weather permitting, we'll try to take a math break, but if it's raining, then we'll probably stay inside.
But can we slow down like the stairs?
You really don't like us hanging out on the stairs all that much? Because you gotta keep your mask on anyway?
Are we still gonna be working?
No, we can take
a
a
break.
break.
A work break in here. And like give us time to just like chill and relax.
Yeah, we'll put some music on, you can look at your phone, or, whatever.
Yeah.
It'll give you some downtime.
And then we'll have independent work time. Yes, Aaron.
Is it okay if like people with hoodies can go outside or not?
Yeah, if we can go outside, we're definitely gonna go.
No, I'm talking about if people can go outside while it's raining with their hoodie on. Can they go outside with their hoodie?
Let's just, like right now, it's raining pretty, we'll see where it's at the time.
Yeah. We'll see where it's at.
I'm changing my
Okay. So I wanted to quickly go over the Poet X characters. You guys did a really good job with the facts and the opinions, but some of you forgot to put the pictures in. So I just wanted to remind you that we wanted a picture of each character, like who you picture in your head, or who would play that character if this book was made into a movie. And we'll have time during independent work time that you can work on this. I have sent back some feedback if you are missing those pictures. We also want to make sure that the pictures correspond with the book. So like Xiomara, Xavier, Caridad, and Amon, they're all in high school. So we want to have pictures that look like people that are in high school. The same with our Spanish vocabulary. Some of these pictures have already been put in for you, like the chancletas. We put the shoes in there, but some of them, they need a picture, like Xiomara, Los Vendedores. Anywhere that there's a blank spot in the picture category, we need you to put a picture in that spot. And some of you did that and some of you didn't, and I just wanted to make it clear if that was the expectation of this assignment. So again, I sent back some feedback, and you guys can resubmit if you need to. Like I said, we're going to start off with, similar to our other days, a video with Elizabeth Azevedo, our author. This is a TEDx talk that she did, and it does bring up violence, so I wanted to just say that that is something that is going to be brought up in the video. But she also brings up poetry, she says a couple poems, and so I think it's a good
No!
So I want you all to pay attention to this video. She also gives us a little challenge at the end. that's something to pay attention to.
Some young men possess disjointed psyches, makes them destroy our discs and joints with swollen fists and coveted Nikes. I have turned the last age you ever knew, and know what it is like to fear both love and being left. Although his knuckles never kissed fractures into my bones or flesh, I have been consumed and made excuses. Thrown myself at his words, though they were fenced with barbed wire, and then cry about the acquired bruises. I do not know how many times I passed you in the hall. Did you press prayers like duct tape onto your brokenness? I only ever noticed your smile. Now I notice your ghost in too many girls. And could it be any one of us who love enough to actually return Adam's rib? Did he ever ask if you would die for him? And did you unknowingly answer, attracting fate with feverish promises? I want answers from you. I want to know how to carve your name on the wind, because that will never die. I want you to tell me this is the last poem I will ever write about a girl who danced with the knife in her palm.
No.
I wrote that poem 10 years ago, after learning that a high school classmate had been brutally murdered by her boyfriend. That last question, is this the last poem I will write about a girl like you, haunts my work. The last 10 years, I keep writing about violence against women. Physical violence, sexual violence, psychological violence. My work cannot get away from it. I think it's partly because I know that poetry can immortalize a topic, right? And so often, when violence against women happens, it's a quick hashtag or a short byline, and then the names and the stories are forgotten. And this work of art is to elevate those stories, to elevate those pieces. On the other hand, I really, really hope I don't have to perform these poems ever again. A part of me is really trying to work toward obsolescence. I do not want to feel that this poem is useful. I want it to be antiquated. I want it to be a bygone era where we feel like poetry is the only way that we can talk about this kind of violence. My partner and I have been talking about having children, which is kind of awesome, right? To be like, yay, I have a partner, we're gonna have children, right? But on the other hand, my work has started contemplating what that would look like. And now I find myself writing all these poems as advice to my future self upon being a mother. And I find myself writing guidebooks on how I'm going to have to raise a daughter to deal with this world. And it's scary. It's scary to contemplate how you will raise a kid, particularly a girl, in a world that oftentimes sees them as something that can be easily dismissed or easily abandoned or not worthwhile. I won't raise my daughter to be nice, to give her laugh away, to smile polite as some men plot and plan to turn her body into a weapon of war. And if they try, she will know how to wield herself. Don't tell me it's wrong to want to raise a child from this kind of fear. I know for every finger that we loosen, another knuckle grows back crooked. Another knuckle is looking to crack into my daughter's skin. And I can't trust this world to teach their sons how to treat my daughter. So I will raise her to be a sword, a spear, a shield, to turn clasped hands into heated hatchets, to hold razors between her teeth, to cut unkind advances with the sharpest eyes, to hold all of this together with leather or lace, to be chiseled, prepared for rebellions against her flesh. My daughter will be carved from hard rock, sharpened shrapnel, a spear, her whole body ready to fling itself and arrow the hand of the first man who tries to cover her mouth. I think poetry is amazing because it is so easily carried in the body. We know how to deal with rhythm, right? Most of us know how to deal with rhythm. and we know how to deal with song, and we know how to deal with stories. And poetry allows us to carry these names, right? It allows us to live knowing that we have all these other women with us. Specifically women, because that's the challenge I want to give you all in a little bit. And for me, poetry is a type of artifact, right? It distinctly says this is the life and times what someone recorded based off of what they thought was important. And I truly, truly hope that these poems I'm writing will one day be artifacts at the bottom of a dusty box, at the bottom of a museum, no longer considered necessary. But I know that that's not the time we're in right now. That's not where we are in this current moment. And so I have a challenge for everyone in this room. I want you to find a woman poet. I want you to memorize one of her pieces. And on the days when things feel really heavy, when equality for women seems unattainable, when one of your male coworkers says something they don't even recognize is a microaggression, when yet another person asks you, when are you gonna get married? When are you gonna have kids? And you're like, bruh, I don't want none of that. On those days, right. On the days when you hear yet another story about a girl who's disappeared, a woman who's been brutalized, when it just feels like we can never escape this reality, recite that poem to yourself. Because at the end of the day, all poetry, even when dealing with these heavy topics, are poems, they're hope. The whole point is for hope, right? Hope to be heard, hope for all of us to heal, and hope that these poems will be obsolete, that we don't need them. I want to close with a poem that's not my own, but it's from one of my favorite poets, and it's one of the first poems I ever memorized by someone other than myself. It's what I recite on my heaviest of days, that I give to myself as a gift, and that I give to another woman whenever I know that she's struggling with something. And so hopefully it'll inspire you to find a poet for you to memorize. So that's your challenge. Think about a poet, find a poem, memorize it. It doesn't take much to memorize 12 lines, and then you have it for the rest of your life. This is a poem by Lucille Clifton. Won't you celebrate with me what I have shaped into a kind of life? I had no model, born in Babylon, both non-white and woman. What did I see to be except myself? I made it up. Here on this bridge between starshine and clay, my one hand holding tight my other. Won't you celebrate with me that every day something has tried to kill me and has failed? Thank you all.
So I accidentally submitted this without knowing there was another page, so can I have edit access so I can finish it? It's the Spanish vocabulary.
Sure, yeah,
You wanna do that?
sure, that'd be great. So I think it's nice to be able to see an authentic presentation of poetry. Elizabeth is a great poet performer, and I like how she brought in the message of poetry being very hopeful. So the next thing we're going to do is watch a video about imagery. And I would like you to pay attention to what imagery is and what it's supposed to reference.
Human beings, we understand the world through our senses. What we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, and what we touch. To represent this process in their literary works, storytellers and poets use language designed to appeal to these senses. This language is called imagery. Let me give you one example. In Kate Chopin's short story, The Story of an Hour, a woman named Mrs. Mallard is told that her husband has just been killed in a railroad accident. After retreating to her room to grieve, she looks out her window. Chopin writes, "She could see in the open square before her house the tops of trees that were all a-quiver with new spring life. The delicious breath of rain was in the air. In the street below, a peddler was crying his wares. The notes of a distant song which someone was singing reached her faintly, and countless sparrows were twittering in the eaves. In this passage, Chopin's imagery appeals to a variety of senses: the sight of quivering trees, the smell of rain, the sound of twittering sparrows, and so on. As this passage suggests, imagery often does more than simply present sensory impressions of the world. It also conveys tone, or the attitude of a character or narrator towards a given subject. By concentrating on what Mrs. Mallard experiences at this moment, quivering trees, singing birds, and so on, Chopin's narrator allows readers to understand the complex ways in which Mrs. Mallard views her husband's death, as both a tragic event and a rebirth of sorts, in which the spring imagery conveys the freedom she imagines beyond the confines of her marriage. Instead of telling us these thoughts through exposition or explanation, Chopin's narrator shows us the worldview of her character and encourages us to interpret what this imagery means. This difference is crucial for students interested in using the term imagery in their literary essays. Rather than writing that imagery is good or bad, vivid or dull, students should instead try to connect imagery to the thoughts of a character, narrator, or speaker.
So when an author is using imagery, or when we're using imagery in our writing, we are trying to speak or evoke the senses. So what can you hear? What can you see? What can you feel? And they were saying you could smell the breath of rain. That's very telling for today because it's raining outside. And sometimes rain has that like distinct smell, and when you're reading that on the page, it can kind of pop into your head. Oh, right, I know the smell of rain. So that's when an author uses imagery. So I'm gonna turn back on the lights. We're gonna jump into our Poet Acts section 4. So we are on page 148 in our text. And I would like you guys to look for imagery in this section of the story.
This was like highlighted.
If you want to highlight it, you can. If
I don't mind if you highlight the books, guys.
yeah, does anyone want a highlighter?
Yeah.
So you guys should be, that will definitely help you to follow along. Remember, everybody has a copy of the book, so it's not just about listening, it's about following along. So Nate, make sure you're following along.
Want a highlighter or no, Nate?
Summer,
No?
make sure you're following along. Scott?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just gonna have fun with because I've read
Greg?
far enough. I just need the so you need to include this.
Oh, you just need a book to reference.
Yeah.
Oh. Do you have a copy?
Thank you.
Oh, well, I guess you could use greens, I don't know. Where
Yeah.
yours went.
What is
I
that
didn't
one?
do it yesterday either.
What are we looking for?
I wonder if someone else took your, because I thought they took
I
theirs
never-
home.
I never took it like out of the classroom or
Okay.
anything.
Oh,
so
okay.
I don't know
Okay.
where mine is.
Okay.
Alright. We'll try to find it.
Can I make a quick connection? Anybody in here listened to the Amanda Gorman speech at the presidential inauguration? Anybody ever hear her speak?
We're actually gonna watch it next week.
I figured we did, but when I hear Elizabeth Acevedo, I hear a lot of the same things in, like, the way Amanda Gorman presented hers too, so I just wonder if anybody, I made that connection when I was listening to her today recite that poem, so
Okay, cool.
I just love that way she speaks. I could listen to her all day. She's really
Yeah.
awesome.
She's a great performer, and I
Yeah.
think Amanda's also a great performer, so
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch her
Yeah.
poetry too. Just a little recap. Amon has just asked Giamara if she wants to go to a party with him. And so she's telling us the things that she won't tell Amon.
I can't date. I can't be seen on my block with boys. I can't have a boy call my cell phone. I can't hold hands with a boy. I can't go to his house. I can't invite him to mine. I can't hang out with him and his friends. I can't go to the movies with any boy other than Twin. I can't go to teen night at the club. I can't have a boyfriend. I can't fall in love. Whenever we text late at night, I avoid mentioning making plans. I tell him, I just want to live in the moment because I don't want to tell him all the things I can't do. But I also shouldn't kiss a boy in the smoke park, and yet I did that too. Kiss stamps. Later, when I walk into confirmation class, I know I'm wearing Amon's kiss like a bright red sweater. Anyone who looks at me will know I know what it means to want in that way, because I didn't want to stop kissing. And we didn't, until his hands moved under my shirt and I jumped at the chill. Maybe I jumped at something else. Guilt, how fast we're moving, I don't know. But I knew it was time to stop, but I didn't want to. I mean, I guess I did. It's confusing to know you shouldn't be doing something, that it might go too far, but still wanting to do it anyway. I don't whisper with Caridad or make eye contact with anyone or question Father Sean or look at the cross praying an all-knowing God who, if he exists, saw everything that happened in the smoke park and how much I enjoyed it. The last 15-year-old. Okay, I know. It's not that deep to kiss a guy. It's just a kiss, some tongue. Little kids kiss all the time, probably not with tongue. That'd be weird. Boys have wanted to kiss me since I was 11, and back then I didn't want to kiss them. And then it was grown-ass boys or legit men giving me sneaky looks, and mommy told me I'd have to pray extra so my body didn't get me into trouble. And I knew then what I'd known since my period came. My body was trouble. I had to pray the trouble out of the body God gave me. My body was a problem, and I didn't want any of these boys to be the ones to solve it. I wanted to forget I had this body at all. So when everyone in middle school was playing truth or dare, or whatever other excuse to get their first kiss, I was hiding in big sweaters. I was hiding in hard silence, trying to turn this body into an invisible equation, until now. Now I want Amon to balance my sides, to leave his fingerprints all over me, to show all his work. Concerns. Father Sean asks me if things are going well, and for a second I think he knows about the kiss, that through some divine premonition or psychic ability, he knows. But then I see him glance at the altar, at the covered chalice full of wine, the plate holding the soft circles of the body of Christ. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't say. I just shrug and look anywhere else. We all doubt ourselves sometimes, he tells me. I look him straight in the eye. Even you? He gives me a small smile that makes him look younger. You ever look at someone that you've known your whole life, and it's almost like their face reconfigures itself right in front of your eyes? Father Sean's smile makes him look different, and I can imagine the young man he once was. Especially me. My whole life I wanted to be a boxer, an athlete. I thought my body was my way out of the terrible circumstances I lived in. Instead, it was the body of Christ that got me out. But sometimes I miss my island, my family. My mother died and I didn't get there in time to say goodbye. We all doubt ourselves and our path sometimes.
I want to say I'm sorry, to bring back the young Father Sean smile, but instead I merely nod. Some things don't need words. What Twin knows? Twin, you know Father Sean's mom died? Twin looks up distracted from his phone, where his fingers have been rapidly texting. I try to read over his shoulder, but he flips it screen down on the desk. Yeah, she died 3 summers ago. Why you bringing that up? And I don't know how I didn't know. How I didn't notice Father Sean gone, or notice the person who took over his sermons. Have I been checked out of church for that long? I don't ask Twin any of these questions. He's already back on his phone. Who you been texting so much lately? The question shoulders past my lips, and I stop with one of my headphones halfway into my ear. Twin has never kept secrets from me. His thumbs go still on his phone, and he gives me a long, long look. Xiomara, we don't have to do this, right? Maybe with everyone else we need to explain, but we both know we're messing around, and that Mommy and Papi will kill us if they find out. And I want to nod my head and shake it no at the same time. Our parents always say that as la niña de la casa, expectations for me are different than for Twin. If he brought a girl home, they would probably applaud him. I don't know what they would do if the person he brought home was not a girl. Hanging over my head. The next couple of days, I wait for Amon to bring up the Halloween party, where he holds my hand in bio, walks me to the train in the afternoons, kisses me goodbye before I exit to the platform, and doesn't mention the party again. Maybe he doesn't want me to go anymore? Friday, October 26th. Friday is usually my favorite day of the week. But this morning, I got a text from Amon that flavored my whole day sour. A, got a doc appointment, not coming to school, see you at the party? And I know it's going to be a long 2 days between now and when I'll see him again, unless I figure out a way. Black and blue. What kind of twin am I who didn't even notice when my own brother comes home with a black eye? I mean, I noticed, but not until I heard Mommy yelling at him tonight while he was getting something from the fridge. ¿Y eso, muchacho? ¿Quién te pegó? No me digas que fue Xiomara. But I'm already halfway to the kitchen, then pulling his chin from her grip, inspecting his eye myself. I don't say a word to him, and Twin's face flinches in my hand. No es nada. It's nothing. It was just a misunderstanding. And although he's answering her, his eyes are pleading with me. Yeah, looks like some asshole misunderstood your face for a punching bag. Mommy looks back and forth between us, probably only catching every other word of the English, but even she knows when it's a twin thing. Type. I'm so heated with Twin for not telling me someone at school was bothering him that I stopped speaking. It's a silent Friday. On Saturday, I wake up with a different feeling tightening my belly. I want to go to the party. I want to see Amon. The boys in my life will drive me crazy one way or another. Saturday, October 27th. Excuses. X. Hey, so would you be really mad if I didn't go with you and Twin to the movies? C. Is this about the boy? X. Kinda. I'm telling my mother I'm hanging out with you. I'll be home at the same time as you both. C. Is he making you lie to your mother? X. He's not making me do anything except meet him at a party. C. Be safe, Seal. Your brother's been acting strange lately. Are you sure he's coming to the movies? X. Yeah, he has a lot going on. Don't ask about his black eye, but he'll be there. C. Black eye? Did you hit him, Xiomara? X. Why does everyone keep asking that? No, but I'm gonna hit the dude who did. C. Don't make it any worse. You know your brother hates confrontation. X. Yeah. Thanks for not being mad at me. C. Just don't get pregnant. I'm too young to be a godmother. Costume ready. I leave with Twin to the movies, Although we go in different directions once we get to the corner. He walks toward Caridad's house, and I walk to the train station on my way up to the heights. A block away from Ruben's house, I sneak into a Starbucks bathroom and put on green eyeshadow, fluff my curls, tug on the hem of Twins' Green Lantern tee. It fits tight around my boobs and shows some midriff. I'm glad mommy didn't ask to see what I had on under my jacket. And voila, a half-ass superhero costume. Ruben's house party. When I get to the address in Washington Heights, I know I'm too early. There are only a handful of people there who, like me, made bootleg attempts at a costume. I see a couple of people I know from school, but no one I would hang out with. This is a party crowd, the loudest, the boldest, the ones who smoke during the school day and drink their parents' marijuana on the weekend. Someone hands me a cup of fruity drink, but I put it down on the TV stand, lean against the wall. I don't look at the clock blinking from the DVD player. I don't look at my phone. I've got an alarm set so I know when to leave. For now, I just listen to the noise, to the music, ignore the stares of a group of boys by the speakers. When someone brushes my hand, I brace myself, tighten my jaw, but when I turn, it's Aman, playing with my fingers, smiling. I didn't think you were gonna make it. Do you want something to drink? I shake my head no, and take in his outfit. He went all out. Face painted green, waves spinning, t-shirt stuffed with something, all his mean self trying to look like the Hulk. I can't hold my laughter, and he only smiles wider. We are meant to be, he whispers. We both chose green superheroes. Someone lowers the lights. Aman tugs on my hand. Dance with me? One dance. When Aman asks, my heart starts thumping, because this isn't bachata or merengue or something with coordinated steps and distance. This song is the kind you get close for. I push off the wall and Aman shifts in front of me, his hands holding my hips. I close my eyes and wipe my sweaty palms on the back of his shirt. We are pressed against each other, swaying, his mouth near my neck. The shoulder pads under his costume give me something to hold on to, and I'm glad we have at least the padding between us. Then his leg is between mine, and we're dancing exactly the way people do in music videos. Like if they weren't wearing clothes, they'd be, you know. I can feel all of him, not as scrawny as I thought. When the song is over, another reggae one comes on and Aman rotates, so now he's behind me. His body grinds against mine and it feels so good. I push away from him. I need some air. Stoop sitting with Aman. Outside of Ruben's building, the Heights is on fire. People dressed in all kinds of costumes, laughing and yelling and singing. You would think it was morning and not 9:30 p.m. Aman holds my hand in his, but every time I look at him, I'm afraid my cheeks will burst bright red, so I don't. And then he drops the bomb. I don't live too far from here. And I don't know if he means he wants me to go to his house, or if he's just talking to talk. Isn't your father home? I really hope his father's home. Aman shakes his head, tells me his father works tonight. I pull my hand from his. I can't stop my fingers from trembling. I don't have to fake when I tell him I don't feel great, that I should get home and make tea or something. I get up to leave, but before I do, Aman tugs on my hand. Read me a poem, X. I want to remember your voice when I think about tonight. And then he's grinning again and pulls me down beside him. Convos with Caridad. X, I'm on my way home. C, good, because Xavier and I've been standing on the corner forever. X, thanks again. I know you hate lying. C, yeah, it better have been worth it. Was it worth it? X, it was a lot. I have a lot of feelings, but it was fine. C, X, it just can't last. Something is gonna go wrong. I'm not allowed to be happy while breaking all rules. C, maybe you shouldn't break them? X, oh Caridad, I can't wait until you like someone. I'll make sure to send you all these wise-ass texts too. C, girl bye, with your hot-headed self, you'll never be as wise as me. Sunday, October 28th, Brady. I spent the entire Mass thinking about Aman, and I can tell Mommy is going to lecture me for not paying any attention, but thank goodness as we're leaving church, Caridad tugs on my hand. Senora Batista, is it okay if Xiomara comes and braids my hair? I can tell mommy wants to chew me out, but she can never say no to Caridad. At her house, Caridad sits between my legs, and I run the comb through her long, thick hair. I learned to braid when mommy didn't have time to do mine anymore. 2 long braids, I can make you look like Cardi B for Halloween. I love the reality TV star, but she's everything Caridad isn't. Caridad gives me a smirk and nods her head. Sure, I'll put on old episodes of Love and Hip Hop so you can feel inspired. Even after I'm done braiding, we sit and watch 2 more episodes. Maybe the only thing that has to make sense about being somebody's friend is that you help them be their best self on any given day, that you give them a home when they don't want to be in their own. At least I have a feeling if I asked, that's exactly what Caridad would say. Tomorrow is going to be a long-ass day, but here and now, it's okay. Monday, October 29th. Fights. On Monday afternoon, I leaned against the gate of Twins Genius School. When Amon asked why I was taking a train downtown, I kissed it off, but I'm sure he'll bring it up later. So much happened this weekend, but still I prepared myself for what I knew I would have to do this afternoon. Twin gets out an hour later than I do, and as the kids start fighting out after the bell, I spot Twin shuffling my way. But he's not alone. He's with a tall, red-haired boy, with fingers the color of milk that brush lint off my brother's sweater softly, the way Amon sometimes squeezes my hand. Xavier. Twin's name never leaves my lips, but somehow he hears me think it. His head pops in my direction like a bobblehead doll. He stumbles back from the white boy so fast he almost trips on his shoes. I look between them, confirming what I've always known. Twin rushes my way and speaks into my ear, Xiomara, what are you doing here? And I don't need to tell him. I came to knock my knuckles into someone's face, to redeem his black eye, to let them know Twin isn't alone. You shouldn't have come to my school. I don't need you to fight for me anymore. There is a balloon where my heart used to be, and it whooshes air out at the prick of his words. I look at the boy who gazes at Twin with love all over his face. Leave it alone, Xiomara. I think Twin says, but it sounds more like, leave me alone. Scrapping. I'm not stupid, you know. I know I'm not gonna be 30 fighting grown-ass men. I know I'm not always going to be bigger and meaner than the boys in my grade. I know one day they'll be stronger and hit back harder. I know I won't always intimidate girls with my height, with my hard hands. I know I won't be able to defend Twin forever, but I thought when it happened, it would be because he would fight for himself, not just find someone else to protect him. What we don't say. On the train ride home, Twin steps into his feelings like they're a gated off room I don't have visitation rights to. He spends the entire time playing chess on his phone. Twin, I know you've probably felt this way your whole entire life, but if mommy and papi find out about white boy, they will legit kill you. His fingers move a rook across the screen, attacking some imaginary opponent. Cody, not white boy. And I know what mommy and papi will say, what you're going to say too. But I don't even know what I'm going to say. I only know I've always wanted to keep him safe, but this makes him a target, and I can't defend against the arrows I know are coming. Gay. I've always known, without knowing, that Twin was. We never said, I think he was scared. I think I was too. He's mommy's miracle. He would become her sin. I guess I hoped, if I didn't ever really know, it would be like he wasn't. But maybe my silence just made him feel more alone. Maybe my silence condones the ugly things people think. All that I know is that I don't know how to move forward from this. Feeling off when Twin is mad. A part of me rebels against the discord. It might sound dumb, and not all twins are like us, but when he's angry, it throws me off. I can't think of anything but him being upset, and I'm afraid anything I say will make him angrier. I don't even know what I did wrong. I've been fighting dudes for Twin my whole life. Why did he think I wouldn't show up at his school? Not even Amon's emoji smiley faces and links to Ja Rule's old romantic rap videos. are enough to make me feel better.
Alright, that's where we're gonna end today. Your activity today can be found on Canvas under your modules. Poet X Day 4 Journal Prompt number 2. Giamara does a journal prompt similar to this for her class in our yesterday's reading. I want you to write the last 2 paragraphs of your biography. I'd like you to use complete sentences, punctuation, grammar, and spelling. And since this is a biography and not a memoir, I'd like you to write it in the third person. So it's like if someone was talking about you. Here's some brainstorming questions that you can think of to help you write your journal prompt. What will you be known for when you are older? How will you be remembered? When people talk about you, what positive things will they have to say about you? So that's your journal prompt. Let me check outside.
You look at the puddle out there.
It's still raining. Why don't we work on a journal for a little bit and then check on the weather in about 10 to 15 minutes? So this will be independent work time.